So in the past, I know I've annoyed at least a few of you by incorrectly using the term budget-friendly or cheap to describe a certain guitar I'm reviewing. I know that term and that category are pretty subjective and kind of relative, but in today's video, we're going to talk about a guitar that I think objectively fits into that category of a budget-friendly instrument for just about any sort of buyer or player. Today we're taking a look at this new Gretsch Streamliner Jet Club one pickup model from their newly refined line of Streamliner Jets. We're going to tackle a couple questions including, is one pickup enough in a guitar, and talk about what you get for under $200 from Gretsch. Before we dive in, thank you so much for watching. Please hit subscribe below if you're new to the channel here so you can stay up to date on future videos. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Is one pickup enough in a guitar? This is kind of the part of the video where I would generally start to kind of tick through the spec sheet of the guitar. We're going to do a little bit of that throughout this video and kind of hit on some of the highlights of this Streamliner Jet one pickup, but I want to kind of give more of an esoteric or more just kind of an experiential review of this guitar as I've played it the last few days, to kind of touch on how it feels and how it plays and kind of how it's standing out to me in the studio here. If you're buying a $200 guitar, I imagine you're not necessarily buying it specifically for a nuanced spec or a component, but rather to have a guitar either as you're learning the instrument or just picking it up. Maybe you want an instrument to kind of knock around at home or to do some modifications or customizations to kind of fit your needs. So we're just going to kind of talk about where this guitar excels, kind of my overall general impressions of it as I've been playing it here, and then let you hear some sounds throughout the video as well. The first thing that stands out to me when I get a new guitar through the studio here is usually the neck. I feel like guitars can kind of live or die by their neck feel because it's the most tactile and kind of tangible element of the guitar. So this Gretsch Streamliner Jet has what they call a fast C-shaped neck. It's very familiar, it's very comfortable. It has that finish all the way around here along with a nice kind of vintage white binding up and down the neck. And for a $200 guitar, I've got no complaints about the feel and playability of the neck here. It's comfortable, it's familiar, and so that kind of checks the box right away on the feel test for the neck on this guitar. It's a mahogany neck with an Indian laurel fretboard that's kind of become standard on a lot of these lower end guitars. There's 22 medium jumbo frets up and down it, and you have these cool thumbnail inlays too to accent the bound fretboard here and give that kind of Gretsch aesthetic on a low end guitar, which is again really cool to just have that aesthetic feature on this guitar. The next thing I noticed about the guitar is just how comfortable it is to kind of sit and play it and approach it here. You've got a contoured back side that gives you a little more comfortable feel against your body here as you're playing it. And then you have some rounded edges here on the back as you go up into this cutaway section that just give you a little bit more easy access to some higher frets here and just overall make it a more comfortable playing experience as you get up the neck past the 12th fret. So both of those are really nice, thoughtful features on this guitar, and ones that I wouldn't necessarily expect from a guitar that's under $200 in sort of this budget category. It captures a little bit of that essence and vibe of the Les Paul with its single cut style, but with those contouring choices, it does just kind of make it a more comfortable, more modern feeling guitar. This specific Streamliner Jet features a single HotWire humbucker pickup in the bridge. It's listed as a higher output ceramic style humbucker, but we're going to just lean into some of the cleaner sounds and show you the foundational tone of this humbucker and this guitar, running through a couple effects for ambiance. We've got a Strymon Volante and a Cloudburst for delay and reverb, and sending that onto a Fender 68 Princeton non-reverb being mic'd up with a Warm Audio WA14. Let's check it out. Now that we've heard some clean sounds from this guitar, we're going to lean into some of those grittier tones that you'd kind of expect this guitar to excel in. I do think that if you're buying an instrument like this, you probably are going to lean into genres of music like rock or punk or other kind of heavier sounding genres to really take advantage of that higher output humbucker pickup and lean into kind of the strength of this type of guitar. A single cut solid body with this higher output humbucker is just going to kind of beg you to play some more rock and roll type sounds. So we're going to hear some of those right now, featuring a Keeley Blues Disorder Overdrive, again onto the Fender Princeton non-reverb behind me here. Check it out. Since we've only got one pickup to talk about here and we've already heard it clean and dirty, I thought it would be fun to dive into the tone control down here, seeing as it's kind of the only variable piece of this equation here. And so we're going to hear how you can kind of create some different flavors and textures and just some different EQ feels from this humbucker by rolling down the tone knob gradually. I think it's a really cool way to coax some versatility out of this guitar for different settings or for different sounds. And I personally really liked how it kind of warmed up a little bit when you dial it down to maybe 6, 7, or 8. Just a little bit of that high end comes out, and you just get a little more warmth and a nice kind of alternative to that all-out bridge humbucker sound. Let's check that out here. So that's a quick look at what you get for $189 from Gretsch in their new Streamliner Jet collection in this one pickup model. I gotta say, I recommend this guitar to anyone who's looking for a first instrument, for a beginner who's kind of just getting off the ground with electric guitar, or really for someone who wants to get a really affordable guitar to mod or to mess around with some customizations or work on their own guitar. It's a really fun platform. It's a really solid sounding and playing guitar out of the box. So I'm not gonna pretend that it's something that isn't, and I'm not gonna even pit it against guitars that are 3 or 4 times the price and pretend that they stack up to each other, because it's just kind of a totally different thing, and it's its own kind of category of instrument at $189 with a single pickup here. But it's an intriguing option, and I think it's a design that was executed on really well by Gretsch to nail that price point with an instrument that's comfortable to play, that sits really nicely in your lap while you're playing it, that has some nice comforts and design choices, and that just sounds good. I'm not quite sure yet if I could live with just one pickup, but it's been really fun to lean into the challenge and the limitation of having just one pickup in this guitar for a few days as I've gotten to know this Streamliner Jet. It also kind of has me wondering about possibly swapping in different pickups for different flavors, or to kind of upgrade and enhance that foundational tonality of the guitar to more of my preference. That's another cool option that you can do with an instrument like this, where you have a pretty low investment up front and can kind of think about different mods or customizations you might want to do to it down the road here. So I'm excited to hear from you about whether you could live with just one pickup in your guitar. And if you've got any other questions or comments about this specific Streamliner Jet Club one pickup model, or anything else you saw or heard on the video or channel today, drop them below and we'll engage down there. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.